Welcome to What the Phuc. What episode is this?
For episode 62.
So, episode
Um,
62. So, where did we leave it off last time?
well, last time we talked about triangles, artificial intelligence, and trusting the process. 61, actually. Episode 61.
Yeah, but in terms of I think the show is about, again, geniuses everywhere, but opportunity is not. It's kind of like a reality show, like basically about my life and starting companies, and it's crazy because I'm 46 years old and it's been this crazy for since my college days. So, I'm doing my 25th reunion at Harvard, and that's happening in like a month. And
Damn.
about so yesterday I went to like a small reunion event in Cambridge,
Okay.
and we just spoke, with the peers that are around and like very very successful people like professors, entrepreneurs, CEOs, head of finance, partners of companies, stuff like that. And it just reminds me of like how grateful I am to be in this country, and like that we're in America, right? And like I'm also a huge fan of the draft, the NFL draft, and I watch the draft because it's kind of like the lottery ticket for a human to win. Like that, like a human struggled really hard. So imagine that your dad came from Colombia. He came, I don't know, because he's really good at basketball. He played basketball. You stay here. You grow up from, you know, in California, and you basically work really hard. And your sisters are really good at sports. You're really good at sports, and you become a football player in college. And then all of a sudden, in one night, you become a millionaire.
That'd be crazy.
Like literally,
Imagine. Yeah.
you become a millionaire at the age of 21
Damn.
because the entire journey was you growing up poor, dreaming to be an athlete, looking for up to like I don't know LeBron James or Michael Jordan or Stephon Gilmore. Like Stephon
Okay.
Gilmore is a football player on the Patriots who's really good at defense. He's a cornerback, and Christian Gonzalez was drafted by the Patriots last night, and so he modeled his game after Stephon Gilmore, who was on the
Okay.
Patriots, and he was defensive player of the year, who's an amazing player, and he gets drafted by the team that his hero played for. And Christian Gonzalez was on the 17th pick of the draft last night, an NFL draft. Christian Gonzalez is from Colombia. His family's from Colombia.
Okay.
His sisters are star athletes. They're track athletes. He's 6'1". He's really like a great person and like an intelligent young man, and he has a 4.38 speed, 40 speed, so 40-yard dash. Well, he runs a 40-yard dash in how many seconds? He runs a 40-yard dash in 4.38 speed, and that's freaking amazing because that's like one of the top 99% top, right? So basically, we got really lucky, and this guy works really hard. But the thing is, it's like the gladiators back then, right? You
Yeah.
have the gladiators; they fight and they fight for glory, and sometimes they make money, and they actually have chariots with their name and their sponsors. It's like the sports of the day,
Yes.
and we have the same thing happening right now with like the football. But it's a lot safer. You're not killing each other, and there's no lions and dying and all that stuff.
Like just the entertaining stuff. Man, it used to be crazy back in the days. Imagine that. Everybody's like, oh, everything was better before. Like, no, not really.
Yeah. So what's today's entertainment? Like you get to watch TV, like sports. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like
Like shows, movies, theater,
yeah,
basically.
and that's why people are watching this show, right? So basically, you're voyeuristically watching us. I think we're real people. We're not like the Kardashians. We're not good looking, but I think we're interesting, right?
We are good looking. What are you talking
I
about?
think you're good looking. I'm not sure about me. So
You're
he's
good
like
looking too, Phuc.
Roberto's
It's
like figure
fine.
for yourself.
Like, wait a second. I go to the gym every day. What the hell?
So anyway, just but on the business side. So where do we leave off on the business side in terms of like food
On the
labs?
business side, we were waiting on some answers actually, and some meetings that were supposed to happen on the 12th. Did you say? They had like
Okay.
some big investors that were going to come in. He had just moved as well, so better
So we
like
had
new
yeah,
locations.
we had applied and gone to Mass Robotics, right, where we moved into a new facility, and we got a lot of support from them. and some cool things happened. I'm not sure if I talked about it, but
Nope.
TechCrunch, which is
Okay.
a really good publication, they came to visit Mass Robotics, and Mass
Okay.
Robotics
Cool.
gave them a tour of the lab, and they said, "What's interesting here?" And they said, "Hey, check out this company called Phuc Labs," and they went to our booth, about our area where we work, right? A work area, and then they said, "This is amazing. I'd like to invite you guys to a party." And I was invited to a super awesome party where it was a TechCrunch special party where they were doing something
Okay.
called battlefield or something like that, where startups were competing, and there was a reward, like an award ceremony. It was like basically their Emmys, the version of the Oscars or the Emmys. It was like a
Nice.
big award that they organized, and the event was happening that weekend, but it was a private company party just for the TechCrunch employees. So
And like
it was
and
like free
networking.
wine, free food, free everything, and you get to mingle with like basically the speakers. Yeah, so you mingle with the billionaire who's speaking. I think he's the CEO of Embark. I think Embark is
Okay.
like the insurance company. I think they raise hundreds of millions of dollars. But basically, I get to talk with these folks, and then some of them were venture capitalists. So I spoke to some investors, and I was just myself, and I was like, "Hey, we do this, this, and this," and like I think everyone like totally loved it, and hopefully we'll get. They told us to apply for the Battlefield, the next version. So that's great. And
That
then
could be
Mass
amazing.
Ventures, which is
All these
supposed to
networking
vote on
events
us on
are
May 1st.
yeah.
Yeah, that was the good news because the Mass Ventures was one of the people actually um, was actually voted by Mass Ventures, and they funded that company. But
Okay.
here's the bad news, guys. The
Oh,
bad news was I got an email on Wednesday, which is today's what, Friday. So two
today's
days
Friday. Yeah.
ago, this is April 28th. April 26th, I got an email from Mass Ventures saying we can't invest in you guys
What?
because we made some diligence calls. We called some of the people that we knew, and it was uneven. That was their word, and because of that, we can't do it right now. Basically saying they don't want to do it. So that's like pulling the rug out of us. Before they even vote, they don't even want to vote. They don't feel comfortable already. And so I told the company, and basically we had said that if this happens, the podcast would end, everything would end. And I was actually really really down. I was like, everyone was down. I was like, oh my god,
Well,
this
yeah.
is gonna happen. Where like I didn't think they wouldn't even at least vote on us, right? But they pulled the rug, and I thought, why did they do that? And who did they speak to, right? So
Yeah.
who they spoke to, we passed everything, check, 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 and it's been the same
Yeah.
thing. The other investors pulled out at the end, and I really meditated, and I thought about it. And I said, we presented two things. We said we're gonna do some battery recycling, and then we're gonna do the scrap metal, right? And then both ways we get copper, right? We talked about that, right?
Hmm.
So we do this and this. So they said that sounds great. So and then I said, okay, what's natural for them? Well, let's call somebody that does batteries because we have some people that we invested in, right? They invested in some companies that did batteries. It's a 5-minute phone call. To do the scrap metal, it's much more difficult because no one's done this before. Okay. Or if they've done it, they haven't invested in a company that does this. Okay. But it's easier for them to call A because you said A and B, right? So they call A, who they invested in. What do you think of this? And that A would be basically, here, I thought about it. So this is a good strategy for you guys just to think about like when you fail, when someone says no to you, think about it. Like, and they're going to talk to us on Tuesday to confirm this. But here's my suspicion. And also, even if it's not my suspicion, this is what other
Hmm.
people have told me generally, but I haven't really understood it until now, right? So think about it this way, right? You have this supply of materials. Suppose it's battery recycling. Somebody buys the battery from the car, right? They grind it, they process it, and they give us the grinded materials.
Yep. Then you sort it up. Yeah.
So somebody is essentially our boss. We do not control the flow of that because someone has to make a decision to give it to us.
Okay.
It has to be a special deal where you have to do a conversation and make a sale, essentially. Whether it's a partnership, whatever you want to call it, ultimately it's going to be 10 possible, 20 possible customers, let's say. And every single one of them has to say yes. for you to win the market. Okay? Not only that, but they have to agree to make the decision to outsource versus build themselves. So build versus buy, right? So
Yeah.
they go buy a car battery, they grind it. Why can't they just get the copper themselves? Let's say the car battery, okay? The copper is, let's say, 10% of the value, because everything else, the lithium, everything else is very bad, very bad. That's where they mainly focus on. So let's say you have 10% of the value. This company says, whoa, they can get that 10% and make it 15%. Or in-house, you can make it 13%. Which one would you pick? Even if
But
they're
yeah.
better, right? I would pick in-house because I don't
Yeah.
have to deal
It's
with a
mine.
third party. And
Exactly.
there's hope that my in-house gets better over time. And I own the whole
Yes.
stack.
Man.
Now, when I explain it that way to myself, I said, obviously they're gonna say no. Because when they call that battery investor, that battery customer, the battery company that they invested in, the battery company's gonna say, hey, that copper part, we have a plan already. We have a plan already, so we wouldn't partner with these guys. So I'm guessing that's what they would have said. Some of them, and some of them would say, hey, this is amazing. We don't have a plan yet. So that's, I think when she said bit uneven, I think that's the same experience that I have. Because some of them are very excited, and some of them are not excited. And I was really brutally honest, because why do you fail? You fail because you chase the wrong treasure. Okay, but we said we're also going to do the our own destiny by locally sourced scrap metal on the open market, where
Yeah.
there is no sale. We just go buy it and we process it. So what I did was I told the team, let's come tomorrow. We'll talk about it.
On Thursday.
And then, yes, and then I basically also, right, realize that there's three possible people we talked about at the beginning, right? We had my friend who is going to invest in the company. He was out,
Yeah. The doctor?
but he helped me get $1 million personally. Okay. We have the this VC we just talked about, and they just said no. Okay. And then we have the other investor who is waiting on this to say yes, but because these guys said no, they just told me today that they're out as well. So that means everyone is out. But look at the raw facts. The raw facts was we came into this looking for money, right? There's $1 million. That was the outcome. And who's the investor now? Me. So what I'm gonna do, right, is I realize it, right? I already put some money, put a lot of time into this. Either I lose everything, or I just finish the game. Because we're so close to finishing the game. How? Right now, we're ordering a grinder. This grinding system I had found because I was like, okay, let's see how much these things cost. Because my person in-house said they found it. It's very expensive. It's like $250,000 for a grinding system. I Google it. In 15 minutes, I find a system by luck for $7,000. It does
Nice.
exactly what we need for grinding. And that has been the thing that has been stopping us, because we thought it was very expensive. We thought it was $250,000, and we found this other system. It's like tens of thousands of dollars. But today we're going to make a purchase order for that. And that's the final level. It's the scratch ticket. You're scratching the ticket and you're about to see if you win. You have to finish it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically break what I said. We're going to continue the show. It's too good, right? Because we got rejected by all three. We're supposed to cancel this episode, cancel everything moving forward, and retire. But I'm not retiring because I don't
Hell
give up.
no.
Okay. Because I have a plan. Okay. So I basically came on Friday or yesterday, Thursday, and everyone came, and I on Slack, I said, come at 10 o'clock ready because that's the meeting time. I have a plan. So here's how it went down.
Oh.
I'll tell you, you're gonna be in the room for real. So everyone's in the table in the conference room. There's one remote
Mm-hmm.
person. Everyone's there except one person, basically, right? Or two people remote. So so basically, there's four people in the room. One of them's a little bit late, so just say, but let's say four of them in the room, me and the other three people, and then the two remote people, right? And they're all down, and they think we're doing transition. So basically, the other folks say, "Hey," he told me later, and he told at the end of me, I thought we were gonna come in, and I was gonna give a transition plan. But I said to him, "Here's exactly. I'm trying to do this so like it's exactly the way I did it." Okay, I said, "Hey guys, I want to say I appreciate you guys. This is something that is very traumatic for me, traumatic for you guys. I'm surprised you're still here in the first place. But I don't give up. And the main thing is, I'm also very wealthy right now. So I'm going to bet on myself. I'm going to bet on you guys. But to make it up for you guys, I'm going to give you guys an extra 1% each. If you guys decide to take this offer, I'm going to give you an offer that if you decide to stay, that we're going to basically try to do this and win, because I believe in this so much that I'm willing to put $300,000 in. Now, $300,000 is going to get us to where we need to do to win. But I need you with the $40,000 that we have left in the bank, which is this month. I need you to basically show to me that this will work, because all we need to do, because we're so close, is P Money, which is my partner, the other folk.
Yep.
You say you could buy local scrap material, and you say you can sell it. How confident are you? So the conversation went through blah blah blah,
Mm-hmm.
back and forth, and he says that's like a slam dunk. What are you talking about, Willis? You know, it's like, you ever see different strokes where you like, it's just a ridiculous like thing. What the hell? So basically he's saying, of course I could do this. So he's very confident. Okay.
Okay.
So basically, when I came into the room, it was not the conversation they expected. I just went and said I appreciated them. I went and just gave them what I hope that they'll accept, and then their brains, kind of absorbing that. And I'm saying, okay, look, guys, here's the deal. I want to make money. I'm a businessman. This $300,000 is my family's wealth. It's for my kids. I'm a poor person. This means a lot to me. Okay, this doesn't just come out of nowhere randomly. It's just like, this is something I've built my
Yeah, no,
entire life for.
definitely.
I'm betting the future on myself, but also on you guys, because this is a really good team, and I want to keep you guys together, right? And I think we're so close to victory, and everything has been other people saying no to us. My job as a CEO, is to see all these objections, and let me tell you my point of view. So basically, P Money said his point of view. He said blah 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 about like why, and I basically said what I thought, which is exactly what I think you just agreed with. Right? I think that's what went down. So what are the
Yeah.
choices, guys? Well, we have A and we have B. I've been pushing for B the last couple of months because I knew that this moment might happen, but I allowed A to happen just in case it actually is something that works out, because we kind of worked on it. But B was something I knew was the last battle. Here's how you win as a CEO. Here's the secret. This is my greatest moment as a CEO in my life. Okay. You have to have the ability to predict the future. You close your eyes, you dream, you meditate, and you manifest the future. You just basically let it happen. How you let it happen? You get a good team. You intertwine timelines and bound the timelines together. So you have basically twine, rope, right? With a rope, it's more powerful than an individual thread. So to pull this off, you have to have a team worth investing in. So you're not investing you are investing in the product and everything, but also mainly you're investing in the future of these timelines. This person, this person, this person, they all together emerge rope, twine, whatever you call it, but it's a different type of force. It's emergent, a lot of emergent knowledge, right? But it's emergent in terms of like working together, a community. Now you have the superpower, right? where I said to the team this: you know why I'm investing in you guys? I'm not a dumb person. I know what it takes to build stuff. But you know what the secret sauce today is? Things you will understand. Number one, 3D printing. 3D printing has made the hardware engineer 1,000x better at prototyping and building stuff. In fact, you can literally just download a file, print it, and it's done. That used to take a year. Okay? But now we can do production grade stuff on a 3D printer. And we have been, and it's a reality. It's not just like, hey, maybe. We've been doing it for like the last 2 years, okay? Because the person who works with our company worked for Desktop Metal, who were
Okay.
the pioneers in 3D printing for metal. So we've been doing the latest in science. That's what Phuc Labs is
Shit.
about. Phuc Labs, we don't just use old technology. We basically leapfrog everybody because we're smarter than everybody, okay? Because we work hard to look at the new things and learn. That's how you become smarter than everybody. That definition of smarter than everyone is you discover things that people haven't discovered yet because you did your homework and you grinded and you got better
Exactly.
and you
You figured
had
it
a
out.
goal to get better, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's number one. Number two is AI. Artificial intelligence has made the average coder incredibly effective, but it will get better. It also makes the businessman more effective. For example, I can create a project plan without an intern. The intern is the AI.
Yep.
The consultant is the AI. The consultant would be write me a copy of this paper I wrote, summarize it for me so I can do an abstract. The AI can do that for you better than any human. The AI has a PhD. It's called ChatGPT-4.
Yep.
So you
Yeah.
can hire ChatGPT-4 working 24 hours a day, automate it into your workflow. And if you do so, you're a superhuman business person, marketing person, writer, cook, book writer,
Anything actually.
anything you can imagine, you have superpowers. Because the way I said it to my team was magic is real, and this is a dragon. If you can tame the dragon, you can ride the dragon, you become a dragon rider. You become a mage that can fly on a dragon, and you can just crush everybody. Because this magic is like real, but you have to train your dragon. Or you have a genie. Another analogy is you have a genie. You gotta rub the lamp, make friends with the genie. The genie's blind. The genie can't see our world. You have to train the genie, work with the genie, become friends with the genie. But the genie is your new best friend. Who's more powerful? The genie plus Superman or Superman?
No, definitely.
Even people who are Superman would be better with a genie, right?
Yeah.
or with with help for free
And it's
for
an
20 bucks
amazing
a month
assistant. Yeah. It's an amazing
as
assistant that
part of
just it's just
Notion,
there.
which is a product. Yeah, we already have a product called Notion. This product lets you write stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But now I can say, AI, write for me a summary of Isaac Newton and the apple falling on his head. And that's basically four paragraphs of a book that I'm going to write, where like that was written by an AI. I had to modify it to make it better. I had to, because what happens, you have to think about it this way, right? You have to understand AI is not going to lose, you're not going to lose your jobs with AI. People are talking blah,
No.
blah, blah. They have no idea what's going on. They do, but they think they do, but they do, but they really don't understand human nature and human potential. As a marketer, as a scientist, think of it this way, right? I go and survey everybody. Tell me, everybody, the best way to build a rocket. To build a rocket, tell me the best way. When you survey people in like 2010, everyone will say the same thing. You do this, 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 and this. That's going to be the AI answer. The AI answer is the summation of human knowledge and giving you the average answer that everyone is consensus going to probably agree on. Right? With given all the logic, given all everything in a perfect universe, if people actually knew what they were talking about, knew how to vote, they would vote for that answer. Right?
Hmm.
Then you have an outlier. The outlier says, the rockets we build, we can just reuse them and have them land without breaking apart. It can change everything. Elon Musk. Elon Musk is not average. He's an outlier
No.
that when you look at the data set for AI is going to learn that data set, and that's a small one point in the data set that in most AI, it will basically remove from consideration. So the most brilliant idea, the one that actually won in reality, that if you had the AI do a judge AI, say who won, Elon Musk or the AI battle, you would say the human won. Because the AI gave the consensus of how to build a rocket, right? Based on all the PhDs of that time, all the scientists of that time, but they were wrong. The
Yeah, no,
human with
exactly.
the
Like there's so much more
right, the
information now
vision.
to pull from. Yeah.
Same thing with anything with judgment, right? So any judgment, for example, the venture capitalists who judge us,
Hmm.
check, 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 check. Oh no, it doesn't make sense. How can you land a rocket? The software is not good enough. People have tried this before, it's crashed. You're not the first one. You think you're so special, it doesn't work. Don't worry about it. The sensors don't work. All these things, they're just ridiculous because people try this. They're way smarter than you, Elon Musk. You've never done anything in your life with rockets. You're full of blah, 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 right? So that it
Yeah.
becomes even extra negative.
Yeah, no, it's like
And
not only are they not like
all you need is
they're
one
not.
negative reaction.
Mhm.
All you need is one negative reaction for something. Hey, what do you think of this idea? And one negative reaction like that disqualifies you.
It's crazy though, but I mean, like, it's something you've never seen before, and honestly, if you don't understand it, that's what people are afraid nowadays as well. Like this notion that you shouldn't appear ignorant when you clearly don't understand something or have no idea because of the peer pressure or because like everybody else. It's okay to say like I don't get it or like this is fine. Like I don't understand it, but it looks good, and if it's working and you've been proved that it's working and you have all the data to back it up, then rely on that. And
So
this like yeah.
part of that
Hmm.
thought you just had, Roberto, that's my reaction at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, upon that's you can't do that. Okay,
Hmm.
you
Yeah,
have
no,
to take
definitely.
yourself out of the situation in business
Yeah,
and
yeah.
strategy in life, and just think about it in a different perspective and steel man it. It's called steel manning it, or doing the opposite, or whatever, devil's advocate, whatever you want to call it, different names for it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Basically, doing the counter argument. What if they're right? What if they gave me a gift where I went down this path where we would have chased down battery recycling, where at some point, let's say they do work with us and we do win a lot of the market, they have all the power to shut us off and do it in house. 5 years, 6 years later, there would have been a lot of pain, a lot of money lost, a
Hmm.
lot of dreams dashed, and we avoided that fate.
Yes. But I mean, like, isn't that what like the patenting and all the other structures protect you from?
Hold on. Now, what's my dream? My dream to own Phuc Labs, do it my way.
Yes.
If I have this opportunity to get to profitability, just going back to the two things, right? So hardware, software, business, everything's amplified. For a 5, 6 person team today,
Hmm.
it's the same as a 50-person team. Let that sink in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not only, but you have to get the right people. So you have to have the killer finance person, killer operations person, killer business person, killer hardware person, and they all have to work hard. They all want to be here. So on Monday, they're all gonna let me know. But I'm pretty sure that most of them will stay based on the reaction.
Okay. You gave them like, okay, you guys go think about it, kind of
Yeah,
situation.
but I also gave a plan. Here's what I said. I said, look, guys. So just continue what I said that day. I said, you guys are going to be
Hmm.
amplified by these two tools, and like I just said, you guys, if you think about the plan I'm about to set forward, if you believe you can execute on it, you should stay. But here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to buy a pallet of scrap metal. Be money, buy that. Okay. I want to use this grinding system, the grinding machine, to grind it. I want this machine to actually process it, and I want P money. I want you to sell it for the remaining money
Cool.
that we have. Right. If there's a little gap, I'll add to that gap. But once I see the golden goose lay golden eggs, in this case copper eggs, then the game on. And the decision is made on me by me, who's the investor. I'm creating Phuc Ventures. Okay, Phuc Ventures is going to put $300,000 in. I put some money in already to get to this point. Plus, whether to make it three, right? But I already put 300. But the idea is this: whatever was a loan to the company, some of it will actually convert to actual stock, and you don't have to pay back. And I'm gonna put some more money in to get to the next level, which is to buy the next pallet,
Okay.
and the
How
next
much is a
pallet,
pallet?
and the next pallet. Because let's say we do, just say this is simple math. You buy 1 pound, you make $1. Okay, you buy 10,000 pounds, you make $10,000. You buy, which is one pallet, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
That's one person that's freed. I say that to them. The six of us in this room,
You need 6 pallets.
we're chained in the matrix of money. We have to get investors. We have to live. But the goal is to break free of this prison. One person at a time. That first pallet breaks one person because now we can do that every month. Now we build a second machine and a third machine and so on and so forth. We build it here at Mass Robotics.
Mm-hmm.
And, midnight, one of the partners, we're going to actually have the shredding at your house, in your backyard, because he lives in New Hampshire. He has a lot of acreage. And we could buy a shed. We could buy some diesel power generator. We could do it outside, or we could do it in his basement. Well, it doesn't really matter. But the
Mm-hmm.
idea is we're going to be scrappy, guys.
Well, yeah. So
Because
this is
all we need
the
to do,
importance of resilience, man.
because we fired our partners and our customers. We thought we did, but we really, really didn't. Now we really, truly are, because of the miracle of this grinding system. Because I thought it was $250,000. That's what my staff said, and they were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Key insight: double check your team. Right? Triple check. You should do it all the time. I was doing it already, but I didn't make it super high priority because I was just trying to fundraise, right? But when I
Yeah.
looked at the
Yeah.
books, let's say you're the CEO, you're, oh my God, we're going bankrupt. We have no way out. Is there a way out? You look at the stuff that you have. You look at all the assets. You look at the connections, and there's always a way, right? For example, you can just keep working part-time while you work on a full-time job. Everyone goes, and you keep working on it, and then maybe you resurrect it again, like in 10 years, and it's a different idea. Because the first time you failed, and you might try it again, it's called mass realty, right? that's what I try to do with mass realty, right? And it failed a second time. So yes, that did not work, and I'm not going to do that anymore. Okay, that's gone. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to focus on this only, and like now I know this is going to work because why? There are 10 levels to this video game. The video game of entrepreneurship, right? There are different things you have to accomplish. But the thing you need to do is you need to work backwards. Where am I going to be in 10 years? So Roberto, if this works out, what's happening in 10 years?
With Phuc Labs, man, like in 10 years after what you just said, you'd be like free of the matrix of the money. It's not
No,
going to
in
be an
terms
issue
of the
anymore.
business, in terms of what we're building. We're going to build a factory, right?
Oh yeah,
In
that's
10
going to
years,
just
what's that
scale it.
factory going to do?
Just going to get your own scrap metal, like even like maybe have some sort of deal with the government so they deliver it directly to you,
Okay.
and then keep grinding. Scale it, export it. Like there's definitely like a problem like with all the other countries have, and then you can diversify.
Okay. So what are the last three things that you had to do to get that to work?
Secure the flow of materials. Maybe like one. Make sure you're able to deal with the amount of materials you're gonna be given or handed or something. And what's the third one? I don't know.
I don't know, just make a list. Let's just keep it simple.
Hmm.
You have to buy,
Yeah,
process, and sell
pretty much. Yeah.
effectively. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I mean, like the sailing part, does it take care of itself? Since it's like it's stuff that everybody needs, anyways.
Of course, but there's transportation to get
Hmm.
it there, right?
Yeah,
And there's
yeah.
maybe
I'm
like
sure the whole like
legal
the.
and taxes and
Hmm.
finding a vendor is not automatic. You say, hey, look, it's here's a bucket here, give me a check.
Like the
It doesn't
logistics
work
of
that way, right?
everything.
You have
Yeah,
to go
yeah,
there and all that stuff, and they have to validate it. And maybe they give you like 90 days later. So
yeah,
you never
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Like in terms of collections of and then maybe there's like certain taxes and stuff, tariffs. Yeah, I don't know. You've never done it before, right?
No, exactly. But I mean, like the fact that if you're gonna be the only guys doing this, then there's some sort of like setup in like implied monopoly. So they have to come to you, and you set up your terms.
What in terms of selling, I believe it's going to work. I'm just saying, yes,
Hmm.
copper is copper.
Yeah,
You're saying copper is copper, aluminum is aluminum. If you get it from us from somewhere else, it doesn't matter. They don't know.
yeah.
You just
Okay.
go to the open market and sell it. That's the thesis.
Hmm.
Now, you just said three things that with a 24-hour demo or the
Yeah.
demo where I just explained to you, with the remaining month in May, this is April right now in May, if we buy a pallet, number one,
Hmm.
right? Number two is we process the pallet. Number three is we sell the pallet. What does that mean about the future?
That if the process works, then I just scale it.
No, you just said that's the future 10 years from now.
Hmm.
But if we do that this month, what happens to the future? Do you move the future forward to now or you move it backwards?
You're moving it forward.
So where would you consider that goal? We're probably almost at the 10-year mark, but we're in May.
Hmm. Like it got a lot closer, but it's going to depend on like a bunch of other things as well.
But
Because the
it's
way, yeah,
binary. If that okay, so when you do this test as an
hmm,
investor, you put your investor hat on.
yeah,
Because let's say I
hmm,
put $300,000 of my life savings. It has to be a guaranteed deal for my kids, right?
yeah, yeah. Have to rely
For
on this, and
me,
it's
but also this has been the plan. This has been the plan the whole time, right?
well. I
Buy,
remember at the beginning you didn't want a boss.
process, and sell.
Yeah.
At the beginning,
Hmm.
I'll tell you what happened. The plan was in 10 years, we'll be doing this. Along the way, we'll consult for other people. We'll work for other people. We'll be modest. We'll have partners. We'll do this. We'll build up to that. We'll have people who can buy sell for us. Well, maybe someone else is better at that. At every single level where we were modest to get to the final level, we lost. You realize that, right? So in a startup,
Yeah. No, I've seen the whole process. It's
what you do is you say, okay, let's try these things. There are 10 paths. All those paths suck. This path looks good. Now, most people will say, let's give up. 9 out of 10 things don't work. This is the wrong dream. This is the wrong vision. This is the wrong goal. But here's the thing we just did. We envisioned if we won, what were the three things that happened that had to happen last? And you should basically make that your North Star.
okay.
Every day, project manage your life. Whether it be trying to get famous for yourself or writing a book or whatever it is, imagine yourself being whatever the famous writer, like Stephen King, and say, what did the last three things that Stephen King do to become Stephen King? What did the last whoever your hero is, right?
Hmm.
Or whatever the company, what did the last three things they did? Reverse engineered from the ending, not the beginning. Early in my career, I would say, what are the next three things to do? Let me think. I should create an office. I should do this. I should do this. I should talk to these people. And then you basically go slowly and you build a path to nowhere. What you need to do is when you go to the puzzle, the puzzle in Wall Street, the Sunday Times and everything, whatever it is, they have the
Hmm.
puzzle, and you have to solve the puzzle, and you have to draw a maze, and the maze is you have to draw the path out of the maze. The secret is to go to the end and draw backwards.
Yeah.
People start at the beginning and draw forwards, but they don't know where the end is. That's not the goal. The goal is to, from the end, draw backwards to the beginning, because you have the right answer already. That's the ending. Is so that's the trick. The trick is the ending is the beginning.
Yeah. 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 Like you project everything and push in that direction.
And sometimes those three things are very, very hard for people to understand. So, for example, my CEO style is to be not in the office, not there day to day. Because let's say Elon Musk, is he there day to day every day? No. How did you have to say? Well, how did he win? What were the last three things he did? He did this. He got famous. He used PR very well. He delegated very well. He hired smart people, but yet he's hands on to some degree in terms of meetings, but he's not actually coding. If he's coding, then he's not doing the last three things that made him, successful. So I said to myself, I could do some coding, the really hard coding. I did. I did the first
Hmm.
version of the product, but I can't continue to code like I did in my last company where I was the only coder that did most of the stuff. I have to code the core features and then move on so I can actually do what I'm really good at, right? Which is to save the company when it goes out of business like this, right? So and set up the plans and kind of predict the future. And instead of coding fake
Hmm.
virtual reality,
Yeah.
I'm coding reality. Look, what is coding? It's spellcasting. You either cast a spell on a machine or you cast a spell on people. You cast a spell on the desire to work for you. So going back to basically, what I did, I said, look, here's the plan, guys. We're gonna do these things, but I'm not gonna bet my fortune. I need you to be my friends. I need you to tell me no, that I shouldn't do this. Because I don't want you to waste your time or my time or anyone's time. Okay. But at this moment, I'm gonna tell you this, I shouldn't tell you this. I normally wouldn't tell you this. But here's my trump card. In that room of five other people,
Hmm.
three of those people I had given $10,000 each.
Oh,
I had given them
already?
$10,000 of my personal money
Hmm.
because when I made the second $1 million like a month or two ago, I said, "Hey, you guys are working really hard. I know it's a stressful situation. I know this company may not be voted yes or no. It looks really promising right now, but I've been in your shoes before. I know what it is to be poor. I was poor like 3 months ago. So here's $10,000, so you don't have to worry about payroll being late and all that other stuff." And I knew they would tell me the truth. And I said to them as people, "Pima, are you sure you can buy and sell this?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Hey, you guys ask hard questions about technology." And they did. And we left that room as men. Unfortunately, no women yet in the company. I'd like to add women to the company because they're fantastic, right? I have two daughters, and I had many women at my last company. Unfortunately, we just didn't have it
Hmm.
right now. But the idea is, they left that room, I think, wanting to come back Monday
Okay.
because you told them the truth.
Hmm.
And at the moment when things were looking great, you personally took care of them, right? And even if they leave right now tomorrow and they say no on Monday, I say, don't worry about that. I told them, like, no matter what
It's fine
happens, this
now.
is your money, right? Because I want you to have a good life because you took a risk on me. I'm going to risk it on you and your fate, and I'm going to take care of you, right? And I think that went a long way.
It does, man. Like these gestures that are like not pressured by anything, and they're actually very sincere. They 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 move mountains, man. So this is something that people feel and understand. And like you said, like you were there when it was good. They're going to be there when it's bad. So we'll see on Monday.
So anyway, so that's what happened. So we'll see what happens on Monday. But there's more.
Ooh.
Okay. So the main thing is, I'm tearing up a little bit because it's kind of bro moment back there, but I just remember how
Fine.
it's a little bit emotional, right?
It,
Because
it's
you have
it's part of the whole
friends,
thing.
you have
And I
colleagues, but
think,
like we're all there together, and like I feel good about my, these aren't tears. It's
mhm.
tears I'm happy with myself as a human. These
Yeah,
are tears of happiness. I'm like, I'm not sad or anything. I'm like, I felt like I had to make a choice,
yeah,
and the reward is now. Where like I feel good no matter what happens. They're gonna basically leave happy, and they're not gonna be like, "Hey, Phuc fucking sucks," right? Like he took care of me, and even though the company didn't work out,
hmm
he's a human who tried to take care of me, which I am, right? So anyway, let's move
it's
on. But the
important, man.
idea is
Like
this.
it's part of this whole thing is being honest and real with everything that's going on, and these are real emotions of real times of real people. Like and for the whatever viewers we have right now, this is important that they understand this whole situation. That nothing of this is rehearsed, nothing is fake, nothing is. This is exactly what's going on right now at this very instant, and
Anyway,
it's
I'm not that good of an actor, so this is not fake. So anyway,
it's
the
fine.
idea is this has been sponsored by
Clinical Research
this.
IO.
So this is sponsored by my karma. So what's karma? Karma is when you do good things in your life and you build up the potential to reap the benefits one day. So what's my karma? My karma is I'm really smart. I worked a lot of hours to be at this level where I can invent these things. And I know with certainty as a scientist, this will work. Check. Okay. I know I have a good team that we believe in each other. And I think we're very effective. Check. Right. And I'm going to bet on myself because I have a good role model in my parents. They escaped Vietnam on a boat. We almost died. And they are the true heroes in my family. That's physical death versus I'm already wealthy right now,
Hmm.
right? You have to have perspective. I have potential because of this. I still own a lot of this because I earned it, right? And I earned the right for this shot to be the CEO of Phuc Labs. And so my high school taught me, a term called carpe diem. You know that term, right?
Yeah, it's the fancy version of YOLO.
It means capture the day.
Yes, means a lot.
So anyway, so I said this
Hmm.
to my team, and I think they were, I'm not sure they were emotional like me, but I'm emotional right now. But I think when you hear something like a conversation like that, that's how it went down. And they know there's no crying. But I think I would say 4 out of 5 will come back. Maybe
Okay,
one will come back too. I'm pretty sure he will, but I'm not positive. But honestly, just to be blunt, right? Because I'm a blunt person. The market fucking sucks.
it does.
So I said to them at the end, I said, "Here, look, guys, ask all these questions you want." And they asked all the questions. I said, "There's only one alternative for you guys. If you come back Monday, this is my offer to you. I'm very genuine. You're gonna get 1% more for your troubles. You're gonna earn glory. Don't feel miserably. It's gonna be a fun time. But mostly, what's your alternative, guys? Go work for the man.
Which
That's it. I said enough said. So you work for the man or work for yourself. Work for us. Work for our team, and then that's it. And everybody said, and we gave them the day off today, where we're doing the podcast right now. We have 10 minutes
hmm
left. But the idea is, I said, okay, I'm all in. But this is what happened last time too at Clinical Research IO. We were at death's door, and nobody wanted to put money in. So my partner and I put $100,000 each to make $200,000, and then people started coming in. Why? Because they believe that you believe in it. And if you can lose $100,000, then that's something that goes a long way, right? And everyone who
That's
knows
putting your
me
money where your mouth
knows that
is.
this is not easy for me to do. This is my kid's future. $300,000 is a lot of money.
It is.
So I emailed all these investors. Some of them are thinking about it. Some of them are out because they can't count on mass ventures. Like I talked to you, like all three of those out. But guess what,
Mm-hmm.
dude? The person I met at TechCrunch, that party,
Mm-hmm.
I emailed that person because they were about to look at the deck and talk to the partnerships, and I said, hey, look, here's what happened, here's the truth, but here's the offer for you guys. Number one, we basically decided to pivot from battery recycling to doing our own thing. The thing I just explained to you, scrap metals, buy locally, so we don't have to our own fate in our own hands. Because we learned a lesson. We're humble. We listened to why people said no. This is our pivot. So you know what a pivot is, right? A pivot is
Yeah.
when your company changes direction.
That-
But we're not really changing direction. We're just picking only B. Focus on B, 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 no A. Get rid of A. B, B, B only, right? Our fate in our own hands. No more customers, no more partners. And he agreed. He said, that's a really good strategy, right? In the email back. And then I said, hey, the valuation is half price. Obviously, we got rejected by somebody big, but this Gucci bag is half off. It's a little bit imperfect. It's Gucci because we got this far. We got almost to the wedding, but the bride didn't show up. So is it your fault, or was it? Are you a good-looking guy? Probably a good-looking, probably, but the bride didn't show up. So you're Gucci, but there's something wrong with you, maybe. I don't know, but it's half off.
For him.
You say, so what's wrong with you? Well, you identify what's wrong with you, and you fixed it, and I get to inspect it, and if I like it, I can do for half off.
It's pretty good.
And then yeah, and I said, look, I'm gonna put $300,000 in, and I'll become the lead investor because that's how much Mass Ventures was gonna put in.
Okay.
So I will take their spot
Spot.
myself. I'll
Yeah.
call Phuc Ventures with a smiley face, right?
For sure.
and
I'm like, why not? I mean, like,
and number 4, finally of all, before you invest, we will show you that receipt of the pallet that we bought, the receipt of selling that resulting pallet after us processing it in a 24-hour demo, whatever the demo is, for 1 day's worth of material. We will show you it working perfectly. That is the deal on the table right now. So I'm all in, baby. So I'm going to lead this round. Whoever wants to put money into this, let's do it. We're going to kick ass. I do not think we have anything in our way. The way I said to the team was this. They had a lot of questions. One of the questions was this. What's our advantage versus everyone else? We're 10 times more efficient for energy. 10 times more efficient.
it's a lot.
That means that when we go compete with everybody, it's a race to the bottom. Whoever is more efficient is going to win. Now think about the big companies. I didn't say to them, but think about to the audience here. Who wins in America? Who wins in the ruthless efficient companies? Costco is efficient at buying stuff cheap and selling it to the customers very cheaply through some type of membership, right? They make money through their membership, so they give you the lowest prices possible. So the profit is in the membership. So that's why no one can beat their prices, because literally they give you the price they buy it at.
Yeah. It's a different business model then.
Amazon has the cheapest infrastructure because it took them 20 years to build, but they can deliver stuff using their own network faster, cheaper, better than everyone else within 24 hours, even less. Right? So the secret is if you have a better mousetrap, let's use it. Let's build it, validate it works. That's the investment, the mousetrap. That's much, much better, right? You got the team that can build it because in front of you, we have a lean team of just 6 people. Because those 6 people behave like 60 in today's world. As long as they have a good leader who knows how to use that tool set, as well as the team who can execute on that. And we have that, right? And you can prove it with the actual device working for something that you said 10 years from now we'll be doing, but we're doing it today. That's the argument, right? And so there's some people alive, but if they're not alive, guess what, buddy? My wife, who I invested in, got her Kumon approved. Her location has been approved. It happened yesterday,
Nice.
and she's going to start producing money too. Because part of my process, the reason I sold the million was to invest in my wife, because I want to invest in her future too. It's called karma. The karma is you stick with your wife, she sticks with you, and through thick and thin, you support her and she supports you. And guess what? I have a partner now who can support me, because when she was down, I supported her, and now she has her Kuman because of this. Click on research.io, right? My karma led to her good luck, because during those years she was supportive of me, and I was supportive of her during a really tough time where we were trying to make it big and we didn't yet, right? So that's really hard, but she deserves it, and she's actually really going to be good at this. And I think the average, so Kumon, just to kind of brag about it,
Mm-hmm.
it's a tutoring service for kids. My kids have been using it. It's basically extra homework. You get these
Okay.
little sheets of homework for math and reading,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's a customized education where your kids, for example, my daughter, who's going to definitely the genius of the family. Everyone's kind of pretty sure she is.
Nice.
She's doing 10th
That's
grade
good.
math right now. She's doing stuff that it's hard for me to kind of explain to her, and I have to kind of remind myself how to do it, but it's really hard for me too. She's doing like advanced algebra right now and geometry and stuff like that. And she's 10 years old. Now, in terms
That's
of like
amazing.
the thing is, you see this chart, you see a line graph. This
Mm-hmm.
is the line graph of an average person. She's like up here. But you can also see this 10 percentile, 5 percentile, 20 percentile, 80 percentile. You can see your kids progress up and down this
Yeah.
graph every month, every week if you want to, right? And you say, oh, she's ranked 129 out of 10,000 students or 15,000 students. And she has this platinum award that it looks like it's a real medal, and it's basically a parallel education system to the one we have right now, and it's better.
It is better, man. That's amazing. Because again, people don't appreciate the amount of information that you need, like to make it in life and everything. And these extra
Yeah.
efforts, they pay off.
And my parents were both teachers, like I said. My dad
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
principal at a school, and I said, "This is awesome. She gets to be an educator to kids of the future, and my kids can work there, doing tutoring, because that's what you do." So it's really brilliant because the kids become the tutors in the workforce, and it's basically kids helping other kids. But by tutoring other kids, you actually get smarter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like the perfect product where like you're selling good value education that actually works. It's not a scam, because my kids benefit from it and I love it. And the teacher got along with Sherry so much, my wife,
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
they started this, and they're gonna do more. But it's gonna be in Quincy, which is a town here where a lot of Asian people live.
Okay.
So she can sell to the Asian market, and if she makes 200,000, that's pretty good. I think that's the
It is.
average. That's the average profit for a Kuman owner, right? And because it's number four in terms of franchises. If you look at franchises,
Mm-hmm.
number four, and number five is Dunkin' Donuts, which is a donut place that's everywhere in America in terms of rankings of like the best franchises to own, right? And there's
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
minorities who own this. There are a lot of Indians, there are a lot of like Asians, African Americans. It's a very diverse community of entrepreneurs who basically work together to do these tutoring centers, and they're everywhere. They're spreading like wildfire, and it's actually started in Japan by a fellow Asian.
What does Kumon
It's
mean?
this Japanese
Like, let's see what
education
it means.
invention, right? So it's like it's got everything that I want. I want to help Asians. I am Asian, but I also want to help everyone. But it just gives extra meaning to it, because now you're part of this journey of like an Asian person bringing stuff to America and being part of that, but also helping educate kids, and like fulfilling also my dreams, because now there's a backstop. There's a person who cares about me, we're gonna work together to grow both businesses, and it gives you safety and the ability to work together, right? And she can make income from that, and I can help her with that too. But it's a very exciting moment where this show was supposed to end, but I guess we have 1 minute left.
We
This could be
do.
the final minute. What do you guys think? I don't know. What should we do, Roberto? Should we continue or not?
I think it's an amazing project, the whole thing, and for sure, let's
I don't know.
keep
Here's what I'm gonna
going.
do. Maybe I should take a pause, not do the podcast for a while,
Mm-hmm.
If this podcast achieves a certain number of views, I would do it again.
Hmm.
For example, if
Okay.
this last episode, no, what's a good number of views, Roberto?
Man, for what we've been doing, lately, we've got very little ones. But
It's a
let's
lot of
say
wasted
like,
time otherwise, right?
nah, well, considering we never really wanted to profit from this and it was more like a diary kind of situation, as is, let's see, like our best one has gotten us 309 views. That's like the top.
Okay, how this? The YouTube algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
If I feel like the YouTube algorithm in it, which is I think like 10,000 views or something like that, I think that's the number I gave you, Roberto, for one of the things we're building for the future stuff. Let's say this
1,000
video
and
somehow gets
10,000.
10,000 views, we'll do more. But all the episodes have to have 10,000 views, not just this one. You know why? Because you can game the system. You can game the system by doing one video and all this stuff, buying ads, all that stuff. I don't want that. I want people to genuinely want to watch the show. But the only way they will is because I have to contribute something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break. And the reason why is I want to create these other videos with Roberto and Nick about my book. I'm going to write my book. You read the first couple pages, right?
Yeah, I read at the beginning.
Roberto, did I share with you?
Yeah, no, but I've
Right, it's
been
gonna
no,
be
but like the
badass.
pages, no, but I've seen like the. I was there for
Anyway,
the
I
whole
share with
podcast and
Roberto.
everything.
Okay, I'll talk to business with him about the book, but I want to take a break. That way, I can focus also on resurrecting this company and just making it work. But
Okay.
also, we're going to stealth mode, right? Because I'm not going to share any of this to anyone. Because guess what? No partners, no customers. I'm Batman. When we make this wealth, we're not going to tell anyone how we make this wealth, and I'm just going to create videos like that, the ones me and Roberto can create.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys want more of the podcast, 10,000 page views each, 10,000 views each on YouTube for 62 episodes. That's pretty good. I'll
Let's
take
see what's
that.
up.
Okay, so that's good, Roberto. So me and you, let's stop this episode. We'll chat about our business. We'll get on. I will be successful, guys. But this is actually the origin story. Thank you for watching. Hopefully, we can do this podcast again. Maybe I'm not in the mood. Maybe I change my mind. But either way, thank you for listening, and maybe this is the last we see each other. But hopefully not.